Good evening and thanks for joining us at 5:30. I'm Chris Costa. We'll get to all those stories and more in just a moment, but first, let's head out to the weather deck with meteorologist Alan Holt for a look at the forecast. Alan, how's it going out there on this Monday?
Not too shabby. Got 18 in this morning. It was sunny at that point, and there were a few birdies floating around out there. It's clouded up since, and it's overcast right now in southern Maine, downtown Portland, and a few sprinkles showing up on the radar in the mountains and up north. Nothing heavy, though, with respect to rainfall. It's also cooler where the light sprinkles are located. 40s in both Rangeley and Greenville, 54 in Caribou. Get closer to the coast and into southern Maine, you'll find the mid to upper 50s at 60 right now in Sanford. The clouds are going to disperse. Not completely, but it'll be more clear for more people overnight. And with that, there will be some areas that do get down into the middle 30s overnight. So there could be some patchy frost before the sun comes up tomorrow. And then we'll be back into the 40s by 7 a.m. With a clear sky. But same thing happens tomorrow that did today. It starts sunny, temperatures warm, and the clouds bubble back up with highs in the upper 50s to around 60. Chris, we do have a pretty big shakeup in the extended outlook later this week. We'll talk about the reasoning for that here in a few.
Sounds good, Alan. Thanks so much. Our top story this half hour. The man arrested for murder in a 1987 cold case is pleading not guilty. Maine State Police arrested Stephen Bouchard in the town of Winslow on Friday. He's charged with murdering Alice Hawks in 1987. Bouchard faced a judge today to enter his plea. In 1987, Bouchard and Hawks lived in an apartment together in Westbrook. They were boyfriend and girlfriend. For now, Bouchard is being held without bail. The Hawks family released a statement through the Maine Attorney General's office saying, in part, after many years of unanswered questions, the arrest of Stephen Bouchard brings renewed hope that justice for Alice will finally be achieved. If you want to see more on the Alice Hawks story, you can go to our new CENTER Maine streaming app and just check out Maine's Unsolved. In Lewiston, police have charged a man they say hit a bicyclist on purpose. Officers say this happened yesterday afternoon around 1 o'clock on Bartlett Street. They say Gage Gagne was arguing with the cyclist and drove over the curb. They say the victim suffered minor injuries. Police say they reviewed evidence and determined Gagne's actions were intentional. Gagne is facing charges for operating under the influence and reckless conduct. They say more charges are expected. A crash in the city of Sanford on Mother's Day killed 2 people and left a third person with serious injuries. Police say it happened on Main Street just before 9 o'clock yesterday morning. Officers say Arthur and Catherine Karcher were in a car that crossed the center line and hit an SUV head-on. The Karchers were taken to the hospital where they died from their injuries. Both of them were in their 80s. Police say the driver of the SUV was injured and taken to the hospital. At this point, investigators say weather and road conditions were not factors in the crash. It's unclear if the driver is facing any charges. Tenants at a senior living facility in the town of Farmington are getting frustrated now that they have not had running water for the past 3 days. News CENTER Maine's Drew Peters shows us what the management company is doing to fix it and why tenants say they're still skeptical.
Property managers here at the Ethel Walton and Hazel Thompson homes argue they're doing all they can to bring water back to the buildings. But tenants argue that's far from the truth. Janice York has gotten used to filling her toilet up these past few days.
You gotta go down a flight and, fill your bucket with slow running water, take it back upstairs, put it in the back of your tank.
A process she and other tenants say has become more and more frustrating each day without water.
That's just a little bit ridiculous.
According to property managers with Stanford Management, the 100-plus unit apartment complex lost all water when 2 water pumps broke down early Saturday morning.
And I was up 5 o'clock in the morning and just flushed the toilet. It didn't sound right. And turned on the faucet, nothing, no water.
Since then, property managers say they've been bringing in fresh water each day and looking for someone to repair the pumps. Writing in a statement, "We are supplying temporary drinking water and bathroom facilities to our residents and will be keeping them posted as to when we expect the water supply to be restored."
That's all we got for answers all weekend. They brought us 12-ounce bottles of Poland Springs water.
Water bottles, and a set of porta potties outside. Efforts, tenant Todd Stevens argues, simply aren't enough.
It's aggravating to think that we pay our rent, that we do everything we're supposed to do, we follow the rules, but the management doesn't have to. That's aggravating.
A kind of aggravation he says he and others feel each time they can't wash a dish or take a shower.
I need it because I'm a human being. They're human beings too, but they're also people who need it because of their medications and stuff.
Stevens and York both hoping tenants' concerns are addressed soon.
To give us a place to go, to eat, to take showers, to do a laundry.
Property managers say they're currently working on ordering replacement pumps and will notify tenants as soon as water is restored to the buildings. In Farmington, Drew Peters, News Center, Maine.
Some of the tenants and their families told Drew that if water is not restored soon, they may consider taking legal action against the management company. We are learning 2 people from New England were on the cruise ship where an outbreak of hantavirus killed 3 people. Staff with New Hampshire's Department of Health and Human Services confirmed that 2 people with New Hampshire addresses were on board that ship. Staff with DHHS say right now those 2 people are not in New Hampshire, and they're working with federal partners to determine if they will be returning to the state soon. The American passengers who were on that cruise arrived at a quarantine center in Nebraska earlier today. 16 people are staying there. 2 others were taken to a university hospital in Atlanta. Health officials maintain the risk to the general public is low, even with this rare strain.
The Andes variant of this virus does not spread easily, and it requires prolonged close contact with someone who is already symptomatic. Even so, we have taken this situation very seriously from the very start.
Now, people can get sick up to 42 days of coming in contact with the virus. American passengers who show no symptoms will be given an option to complete a 42-day monitoring period, either at home or in the medical facilities. A nonprofit is looking to join a lawsuit aimed at protecting endangered right whales. The Center for Biological Diversity filed a motion to intervene today. That group wants to join a lawsuit in response to plans that would end seasonal speed limits for vessels. Researchers say vessel strikes are one of the biggest threats to the species. They estimate fewer than 400 of those whales remain.